Marvel Rivals just had a ton of new leaks. We also got to look at some brand new information, some brand new stuff coming out with Season 1. That includes new cosmetics that are going to be in the shop here very soon. We'll also look at some new map locations that just got leaked and dropped, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Marvel Rival. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Let's get into some of the official information, then we'll jump over to some of the leaks. So first up here, we did get a brand new showcase for the Fantastic Four crew. The trailer for them is going to be dropping on January 6th at 8 AM PST. So we're going to get the entire Fantastic Four crew, which is really cool there. Of course, that does include Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and The Thing. Of course, we probably know a few of their abilities already, but they're still open to speculation. On other official news, we are getting some brand new skins that are coming to the shop. This one here they did showcase that is for Squirrel Girl. That one's going to be releasing tonight at 11 PM PST. So any of you Squirrel Girl mains there, you might want to look into this. I know she has been and becoming a fan favorite for a multitude of reasons, of course. Now with those cosmetics and the Fantastic Four, we are actually going to be getting Marvel Rivals Season 1. This is the header image for that with Fantastic Four. So it looks like they're going to play a very intricate part with the Season 1 release. Currently, the Season 0 Battle Pass is set to expire at 6 AM, which is on January 10th. Of course, we are getting that trailer on January 6th, so we might be seeing both the Fantastic Four and the Battle Pass as well as Season 1 kind of all come together in these next few days. And more than likely, with the Season 0 Battle Pass expiring, we're probably going to get the Season 1 Battle Pass right after that. Usually typical for any Battle Pass release. We're also going to be getting a Season 1 crossover event, which will bring together 3 different games from the mobile series. So Marvel Snap, Marvel Puzzle Quest, and Marvel Future Fight. And that is going to be an entire in-game event that should be launching on January 3rd. Now, we don't have the exact details on that just yet. At least not officially, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And I will try to keep you guys updated when they do drop that event with all the details for it. Okay, now we get onto the leak section, as we have a ton of leaks to go over. In fact, there are 15 characters that have been basically leaked. The first one here, this big news here, is that Valkyrie is going to be coming to Marvel Rivals, which is a massive leak that just happened very recently. We also have what looks like the Hood being leaked. They've also been able to leak his potential abilities, where he will have dual gun shooting, dual gun overheat cooling, a shield management system, clone projection, clone range control, clone detonation, and even demon transformation. So he's going to have a ton of abilities here that will kind of coincide with everything. And of course with his character overall, which does play into his abilities overall, but showcasing he has a very dynamic system with his, especially having a lot of control over the clone projections, the shield management system. That'd be really cool to look at and see what he actually can do. Now, as of right now, there are a total of 15 leaked characters. So of course, included in this list of leaked characters is Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch. But to go over all of them under the Vanguard section, again, I will still go over the ones from Fantastic Four collab. I'll also go over what we might be seeing potentially with each character and their abilities based on their lore. So first up here under the Vanguard section, we do have Emma Frost. Now, she might have something like a diamond form, which could temporarily gain her invulnerability or reduce damage, kind of akin to what Venom has. She might also have a telepathy shield, which could reduce incoming enemy control effects for herself or allies. Next up here, we have The Thing, which of course he has his Clobber in Time that could deal heavy melee damage and an area effect. And he could also have something like a rock solid defense, again gaining temporary shield that absorbs damage. Again, kind of just like Venom's. Now, these are tanky characters, so they do kind of play into that. Might even be a Molten Shield. He might absorb all the damage. Maybe it even plays into his melee attacks. Could be pretty cool there. Next up, we have MODOK. Now, with his lore, he could have a Psycho Beam, which fires a powerful ranged beam that stuns enemies. He could also have something like a Genius Intellect, where he could even buff nearby ally abilities or reduce their cooldowns. Since he does play into the intellect, it could potentially reduce the cooldowns there, and it could also buff them. Next up, we have Captain Marvel. They might have something called Phantom Blast, which unleashes a high damage energy attack. Could even play into their ult a bit there. Or even a Binary Form, which temporarily enhances attack power and grants flight. Of course, they probably will have some type of flight mechanic that might just be on their shift key for PC. Next up is Angela, who is known for her Heavenly Slash that strikes enemies with a massive sword, which could deal AoE damage. And she could also have Asgardian Resilience, Again, she is akin to a tank character, so she could reduce damage with that or even heal over time. Now, of course, we've already gone over the Hood's abilities, which have been fully leaked there, or at least what we're probably going to be getting with him. Now we have the Duelist section. Starting off first there, we have Human Torch. Again, with the Fantastic Four collaborations coming very soon. Of course, he might have Flame On, like his signature ability, which enhances his abilities with fire damage over time. Might be like a transformation that he goes into. He also might have his Nova Burst, which deals massive single target damage with a risk of self-damage. Could see some self-damage mechanics come into play here, especially with this character. Probably going to be a lot of fire abilities with him. Mr. Fantastic, of course, with his Elastic Punch, striking from a distance, stunning enemies. This could be a ranged melee character, or it might even be the range of what Venom has. He also might have Shape Manipulation, which reduces incoming damage by dodging attacks. Of course, he can do that in the films and in the comics as well. We'll have to see how much their damage reduction is, because this is more of a focused single target and excelling at primarily eliminating targets. At least the Duelist category is known for that. Next up, we do have Phoenix. Phoenix Flames sends out a wave of fire that deals damages and fears enemies. The fearing mechanic could be really cool there, definitely like a nice stun mechanic, even akin to a Warlock in World of Warcraft. They might also be able to rebirth, where they could revive upon being eliminated and even get increased power temporarily. Could be like Revenant from Apex. Next up, we have Blade. Now, because he's a vampire, he might play into some things there with lifesteal, like his Daywalker Strike, which could deal high melee damage with lifesteal, and he might also have Vampire Hunter, which gains bonuses against healing enemies. So he could be an anti-healer, which would be really cool to see some sort of unique mechanic there. Second to last for the Duelist category, we have Hitmonkey, who has Deadly Barrage, and he could fire rapid fire shots from his pistols. He also could have an ability called Monkey Business, where he gains increased attack and mobility for a short duration. Next up, we have Deadpool, who's known for his regeneration, so he could passively heal over time, even in combat, which we have seen in the films and comics, although it will be pretty overpowered. We'll have to see how much they kind of mitigate that. He could also have an attack that causes AoE damage with random effects, sometimes stunning, sometimes bleed. Could be pretty cool to play into some of the wonkiness with him. For our next category, we have Strategist. Strategist is known for excelling in controlling the battlefield and supporting allies with tactical abilities, of course usually akin to a healer or just having support. For the first one here, we have Ultron, who might have Drone Swarm, where he could summon drones to harass enemies or even block projectiles, kind of akin to what Doctor Strange has. And he could have System Override, which buffs all mechanical allies or minions. Try to be more of his ult there. Otherwise, I could see that being a little overpowered. The second one here is Invisible Woman, of course. We're going to be seeing that very soon. We're going to see how accurate these actually are. Her force field could create a shield that blocks damage for her allies and herself. We've seen several shields that get sent out, so maybe they find something different to play in there. That's typically what she does have, though. Also, invisibility, where she can turn herself or allies for stealthy movements. More than likely, her shift is going to be her invis, and then maybe she has a buff for allies to do that as well. Would be really cool for sneak attacks there. Last up here for the strategist, we have Valkyrie, where she might have her Dragon Fang Strike. She could execute a high damage spear attack, and also use her Shield Maiden, which could grant defensive buffs to allies and even absorb damage. So like a tank, but still doing some damage there. That does round out all 15 leaked characters so far. Pretty insane with the cast we have already, and a lot of these coming into play. It'd be really cool when we do eventually get these. We also have some unreleased maps being talked about. First up here is Kunlun, which has been showcased a little bit, especially with the squirrel skin. Collector's Theme Park. There's Thebes Domination, Araco/Escort, and New York Escort/Hybrid. Again, nothing official with these so far. Maybe I'll do more in-depth stuff with some of the maps that are coming out. But it's awesome to see that they're bringing out a host of new things, tons of new cosmetics, tons of new characters, and tons of new maps. Now, this is my first video covering Marvel Rivals. If you do enjoy this, I'd really like a like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support there. If I can continue to make content for Marvel Rivals, I would really love to do so. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.